Our athletes, have been athletes, and those who will come after this class. I also think it's only befitting that I first acknowledge that without Maui born and raised, Patsy T. Mink, who in 1972 was pivotal in crafting and shepherding the passage of Title IX, we would not be here today to congratulate the athletes and champions of this year's MIL Women's inaugural flag football team, the Kamehameha Schools Maui women, along with their coaches, staff, and Ohana. What an amazing inaugural season it was. As an auntie to one of the athletes, it was exciting to watch and be there on Saturdays and watch the 6 overtimes on one afternoon. Sports is a great metaphor for life. Matter of fact, it was used a lot in our home with my father and all the athletes that we were surrounded with as a coach in football. And in fact, you probably hear or personally use sports metaphors every day. Home run, get the ball rolling, or you win some, you lose some, and go the distance. Unquestionably, sports is the go-to metaphor for navigating life in so many ways, and all sports are essentially games of resilience and perseverance, just as it is in real life. These two characteristics in particular make sports fill this metaphorical role. Success in both sports and life comes down to the ability to recover and move forward from defeat, mistakes, setbacks, injury, disappointment, or failure. Nothing is guaranteed in either sports or life, except the reality that resiliency and perseverance are necessary to sustain oneself and to move forward. This is what makes sports the best classroom for our haumana. How to overcome the challenges, how to deal with pressure, how to deal with anxiety, or how to deal with the successes that will come. They will eventually face in the real world. In essence, sports is life. It is not how you fall in life, but how you get up. Mahalo to our athletes for exemplifying these characteristics. We're proud of you, as well as the other 8 Maui community county schools who participated in their women's athlete. Finally, I'll close with this quote: "Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm." It is attributed to the late Charlie T. Taiane Jr., captain of the 2-time NFL champion Detroit Lions, Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame, former St. Anthony's head coach, and the great-grandfather to Eva Mahealaniane, who is on this team. Neither he nor my father would have ever thought in their days as athletes, coaches, that they would see these young women now participating in a sport that we all love. Ladies, we enthusiastically look forward to the 2026 season, and for those who are seniors, congratulations and best wishes in all your future endeavors. Mahalo, mahalo members for the time.
Ms. Clark?
Thank you, Chair. I think we have someone from the team. Here she comes. Look, I got one. Good job. I believe the coach will be speaking after the ceremonial resolution.
Aloha o Journey Hilina Ihe. I'm currently our girls team captain and a senior. First of all, I want to thank you all for having us here, and thank you to our coaches who has set a really good program for our girls and took us to states and became the first girls MIL flag football state champs. To my girls, especially the underclassmen, thank you for making it such an exciting, fun, I know we all had fun season. We put in our work every day. We made it fun as well, and we got our job done, and we set the bar for many other girls. And to the future of girls flag football, I hope we have inspired many young girls to come out and play. And yeah, so thank you all, and hopefully next year, MIL champs again. Thank you, guys.
Ms. Clerk?
Chair, we don't have anyone else signed up at this time. So this is last call. If there's anyone who would like to testify on the ceremonial resolution, this is your opportunity. I think the coach is going to wait till after the ceremonial resolution. So this is last call, and the countdown is 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one indicating a desire to testify.
Any objections to closing public testimony on resolutions? So ordered. Ms. Clerk?
Chair, before you is Resolution 25-117, congratulating the Kamehameha Schools Maui's girls flag football team for winning the inaugural Maui Interscholastic League Flag Football Championship.
Member Hodgins?
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt Resolution 25-117.
Second.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura, to adopt Resolution 25-117. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you. Can I please request that the clerk read the resolution in its entirety?
Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Chair. Resolution 25-117, congratulating the Kamehameha Schools Maui girls flag football team for winning the inaugural Maui Interscholastic League Flag Football Championship. Whereas on August 1st, 2024, the Hawaii High School Athletic Association announced that girls flag football would be included in spring sports starting in 2025, making Hawaii the 12th state to sanction it as a high school sport. And whereas girls flag football provides an opportunity to empower current and future female athletes by furthering gender equity in high school athletics, and whereas implementing girls flag football as a sanctioned high school sport advances the legacy of Patsy Takemoto Mink Equal Opportunity in Education Act, also known as Title IX, and whereas the Maui Interscholastic League fielded 9 teams across Maui County in the 2025 girls flag football season, and whereas after an undefeated regular season, the Kamehameha Schools Maui Warriors girls flag football team won the inaugural MIL championship on April 19th, 2025 at Kamehameha Schools Maui's Kanaiaupuni Stadium, and whereas after trailing 7-0 in the championship game against Baldwin High School, the Warriors made a thrilling comeback and tied the game in the final moments of the fourth quarter, sending the game into overtime. And whereas in the last seconds of the 6th overtime, Kamehameha Schools Maui scored the winning touchdown to claim the inaugural MIL girls flag football title with a thrilling, historic 13-7 victory. And whereas the Warriors then represented the MIL at the 2025 HHSAA Girls Flag Football State Championship Tournament on Oahu, and whereas the 2025 Kamehameha Schools Maui MIL Championship team consists of the following players: Sophia Abernathy, Taylin Kamea Abreu, Uilani Ahana, Eva Ane, Kayla Baptist, Kavena Kabanting, Kaieva Delanu, Miley Hamasaki, Journey Het, Leimomi Hokoana Molinas, Makea Ho'oikaika Mansanyas, Nevea Howard, Kau'i Joaquin, Leah Ka'a, Michele Kapua'ala, Zaisha Maili Keave, Ivalani Keavekane, Kilihea Lee, Reja Lee Librando, Sila Rain Librando, Ariana Oshiro, Tyra Shimizu, Riley Souza, Mila Tuitele, and Brooklyn Orianza. And whereas the team's success can be attributed to the leadership and determination of head coach Stephen Kaeo Ripani, assistant coaches Mallory Chong, Joy Tamayose, and Clark Tuatele, athletic trainers Alika Singh, Aaron Barnett, Larissa Jimenez, Rachel Jordan, and Sam Perdido, and athletic staff Kathleen Birmingham, Dorcas Cashman, Kyle Honda, Dale Ho'opi'i, Kamana Kala, Kuulani Kamau, and Tanya Souza. And whereas the exceptional team spirit, hard work, discipline, and perseverance of the Kamehameha School Maui girls flag football team have brought pride and honor to the people of the County of Maui. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the County of Maui, 1, that it congratulates the Kamehameha Schools Maui girls flag football team for winning the inaugural Maui Interscholastic League Flag Football Championship, and 2, that certified copies of this resolution be transmitted to the team's players, coaches, athletic trainers, and athletic staff: Dr. Scott Parker, Po'okula, Kamehameha Schools Maui; Lance Kagasan, Po'omahele Luna, Kamehameha Schools Maui; Athletic Director John Viella and Associate Athletic Directors Michael Blangitao and Kaholo Ricard, Kamehameha Schools Maui; Joseph Blungitao Jr., Executive Director, Maui Interscholastic League, and the Honorable Richard T. Bisson Jr., Mayor, County of Maui.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. Members, I would like to ask for your support of this resolution. I am proud to honor Kamehameha School's girls Maui flag football team in claiming the first ever MIL championship. The Wahine Warriors earned the MIL championship by winning all 9 of their regular season matches. I'm also proud that Hawaii is now the 14th state to recognize girls flag football as a sanctioned sport, which opens the door for young female athletes to explore new opportunities and challenge the status quo. And at this time, I just respectfully ask the members' support for this motion. Thank you, Chair.
Any other discussion? Member, Vice Chair Sugimura?
Thank you. First of all, Chair, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to do this joint resolution. It is unusual, as well as we normally do state honors, but this is unusual because this is the inaugural, first ever, winning team for MIL.
What I said about
And I would like to congratulate Kamehameha and thank you also for allowing this to happen. For me, this is very special because I have a grandniece, which is Michele Kapua'ala, who also played. And I would hear about this from my sister, who's their nana, and how excited they were and what a great team this was. And as well as the coaches, I want to honor them and also thank the parents who are standing by them, going to all these games, and grandparents. And congratulations, all of you. I fully support this resolution.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think we have a technical problem. Short recess, 5 minutes, so about, make it 7 minutes, 9:35. Recess. Meeting of May 16th, 2025, please reconvene. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, we have the motion on the floor that was made by Member Hodgins and seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura.
Were you finished speaking? Okay. Vice Chair Sugimura.
Just want to congratulate everybody who is here, and also the parents, who is a big deal of all your commitment of time as your girls, played this amazing flag football. And I will say that the state champs, I watched it on TV.
Their coaches and their families for supporting them. And mahalo, for mentioning Congresswoman Patsy Mink, who championed Title IX to ensure that women had the same opportunity as men. And Ms. Jill Nunokawa for ensuring that Title IX was enforced in Hawaii. Flag football holds a special place in my heart at Richardson Law School. At UH Manoa, we have a student versus alumni annual game, and a women's flag football game where our male classmates served as our coaches, and then the alumni men serve as as their coaches. And the students team was called the Etes, and I was a very proud Ete, I still am. And the alumni team, his name is the Bruisers. And I was fortunate to serve as our Ete team captain, and I played D-line. And here I have a photo.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I got a flag.
Did you win?
No, we didn't win. Which is why I was hoping you were going to share your story, because your story is a little more exciting, because you guys won 6-0. Oh, sorry, spoiler. And, oh yeah, so to close, sometimes. But to dovetail off of Member Hodgins' opening remarks this morning, to know your strength in this moment in time and to capitalize on them. Mahalo, Chair.
Thank you. Words of wisdom. Thank you. At this time, ready to vote, everybody? Or do we have any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay, looks like we have 7 ayes. Ms. Clerk?
Correct, Chair.
2 excused, Pro Tem Kama and Member Johnson. Motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Chair, I believe the coach at this time does have some comments that he'd like to make to the council.
Yeah. Coach, could you mention your name, state your name for the record?
Hello, okay. Hello, my name is Kaio Ipani. The girls will know me as Coach Rip. I'd like to first thank the Maui, County of Maui Council. Appreciate this. I'm very humbled and to be here, blessed to be here. I also like to thank the Kamehameha Schools Athletic Department. They were a very big guiding force, role model for myself, as well as members. Also like to thank my coaching staff. Coach Mal is here with me. I have 2 coaches missing. They are actually at the school because we have a big Hoike event. Coach Clark and Coach Joel. So they're there right now. They have obligations they have to hold. And then I also like to thank the, the parents of our players. The support that they've given throughout the season, and I could only stand on the sideline and just be blessed to be humbled to be a part of this team, especially with these girls and everything. So I know part of the whole thing was like to kind of like talk about the season, but I would also like to talk about the other coaches. This season went so well because, everybody kind of like those competition, it was still a togetherness. We just got off a meeting this past Tuesday where we had to kind of wrap up the season, and all the coaches are looking forward to next year and moving on and how the sport is growing. So I'd like to also thank those other coaches on the other team and everything. So the players, when we first started, a lot of them didn't know how to, like, they knew football, but they didn't know how to play football. And we had to come together, work hard. So at the end of the season, I started calling them football players. I was like, just because the boys have the pads on doesn't make, it makes you a football player because you understand the coverages, assignments. And you would have been so proud when we were watching the championship game at Kapalama, where the girls were yelling at the screen, calling out coverages. And I looked at Coach Clark and I went, oh, we created monsters up in here. So it was good to see them. But each and every one of the players throughout the season contributed. We had games where I had to tell the girls, we need to develop grit. We gotta buckle down, so every player stepped up, in this time. And the one thing I want to talk about is, on the resolution, it talked about the 6 overtimes. Baldwin is by far a well-disciplined Coach Dean. Hats to Coach Dean. He's an amazing coach. He has his players ready. We were down 7-0 going into the fourth quarter. We had to fight back, and when we tied the game up, eventually no one knew that it would have gone into 6 overtimes. And the way it works is that each team has a chance to score, and a team has a chance to answer. So when it got into the 6th overtime, it had this feeling of like, okay, the game is going to either go their way or ours. The girls on the field gave everything. You could see it. Some of them were just exhausted. Some were playing both ways. And what happened was it kind of led up to where Baldwin actually drove the ball down to like the 1-yard line. And they had a chance to score. And we were able to stop them. I believe it was Mila that stopped them on top of that. And like I said, the Baldwin has great athletes. So her recognizing what play was going to come, and, we do studying on Monday, film study, because we are a football team. You got to prep. So it came back now to our turn. And we actually drove the ball down to like the 3-yard line. It was on the last down. And how to set this up, it was actually in the 4th quarter, I called the play. And I looked at Journey, and I went, girl, you're going to get this ball. And we scored in the 4th quarter on this play to tie it up. Now we're sitting on the 3-yard line in overtime. And I looked at Journey and I said, you're going to get this ball. And when Shimizu threw the ball, everything went to slow motion. It was the whole entire oxygen in the stadium probably went into everybody. Yeah. And when the ball was actually thrown to her, it was thrown short just by a little bit. Yeah, because our quarterback, Shimizu, she had pressure, so she had to get rid of the ball quick. So Journey reached out for that ball, and in that area, there was another Baldwin defender. So it could have gone either way. But Journey stepped in front, grabbed the ball, and literally just right into the end zone. And that's how we won in the 6th overtime on the last play. And the reason why I wanted to say that...
Coach, which one is Journey?
Our captain, she's the one that spoke.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason why I wanted to kind of bring that up is because in the time of competition, when it matters, unfortunately, some girls can't get into the game right there. It's a tough game. Baldwin has their best players on. We have to have our best players on. What I told the girls is that in order for us to win this game, we have to be a team. And if it means that you need to be on the side, cheering your teammate and having that grit, that's what a team is. And I will tell you this, throughout the whole season, that's what this team was about. Whoever was in, they cheered, they stayed positive, and we are very blessed to be the MIL champs for this season. And, next year is going to be even harder. I know all the other teams are looking to be that way. So we have to step up our game, and I know everyone else will. And for this, council members, again, thank you. We appreciate it, and very blessed to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Any more testifiers?
Chair, there are no other testifiers.
Okay. Could we ask you to all come up, the teams, to receive lei and then take a picture with us if you want?
Wait, where?
Right there. See the thing?
On the red light.
See the red light? There it is. Yeah. You see 'em? Oh, and there's one on the bottom too. Right here. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't talk though.
Family A.
Me too. McDonald's rolling, guys. McDonald's, Coach Cola. Coach Cola, can we get you a black card, black card?
I gotta go back to work now. Oh, man. All right, back to school, girls.
Okay, let's reconvene.
Okay. Chair, would you like to proceed with,
Countdown. Oh, no,
oh no, I think we're still live.
we're live. Okay, let's reconvene. Ms. Clerk, on to the next testimony.
Yep. Chair will begin with the presentation of written or oral testimony.
Little louder.
Chair will proceed with the presentation of oral testimony. We have Makalea Ane testifying on CR 2526, and she will be followed by Jeff Almeida.
And how many testifiers do we have signed up?
Chair, we currently have 18 signed up.
Okay. I'm going to be enforcing the time limit strictly, and also the clarifying questions, because we have a very, very long day today. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm here to testify for the Budget Bill 41. My name is Makalea Ane, and I'm the Executive Director of the Living Pono Project. I have a lot to say, and it might be emotional because I'm so passionate about this subject and our organization, but also because of the kuleana that comes with the work that we were doing and the work that all of the community organizations do. So I wanted to first mahalo the County Council for all the hard work that you guys put in to support the small organizations, because as my friend and fellow colleague said, to small nonprofits, every dollar matters, and we can amplify the work that we're doing, that $1, and impact the community and our kids to come. So I wanted to actually read.
If I could interrupt 1 second, Ms. Ane. It would be helpful to tell us if you're already in the budget and how much, is in there for you, or if you're asking for more, so we know the difference, okay?
Perfect.
And how much, thanks.
So I am asking for a proviso to the Living Pono Project under the Farm to Family program. It was put in the budget at $1 million, and we do not have a proviso, but I'm asking for $100,000 to continue our Mahiai Basket program. And I'm also advocating for funding for resilience hubs. I'm the facilitator of the Resilience Hub Network planning hui that we invite many of you council members to participate in. And we're not in the budget, but I'm just advocating that funding for resilience hubs in general continue to be put in the budget and be supported by the council.
Can you also give a figure, just in case, as we're deliberating, if we have extra money, you never know.
Yes, so for a Resilience Hub, the budget is at $600,000, and there is a proviso to HANA for $200,000. And we would advocate that it not go lower than 600,000, but if you did find any extra money, that we have phase 1 resilience hubs that were selected or backed up by the mayor's office of Innovation. And so there's 7 tier 1 resilience hubs that are ready to go. We've already done planning. We have community support and input into the hubs, and most of us have leases already. So if funding could be evenly distributed between all those 7 or equally allocated at $200,000 each, that would allow for all of the communities to be ready and prepared and resilient and be able to withstand disasters and little shocks to our system, so we can all support each other. So I'll just really quickly, because I have 30 seconds left, read a testimony by one of our families that come through our hub. And this is to support the Farm to Family program at $100,000 proviso to the Living Pono Project. So her name that she submitted testimony is Jeanette Lucero, and she is the administrative assistant to Maui Mike's Beach House. And she's a local Lahaina resident that was impacted by the fires and had found support from the Living Pono Project. And so I'll got cut off.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, we're gonna have to take a recess,
Okay.
and maybe 5 minutes. Oh, mine is off. So I guess we're going in and out. Sorry, if
So my time was up anyway. Do I get like a little bit more time or?
Yeah, we can give you
Good.
another 30 seconds, but there's no sense in
Okay.
you continuing during recess.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Okay.
So
See,
our
like, we're
Resilience
off.
Hub meeting is happening now, so I'm gonna go hop on that and I'll be right back.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Recess till 10:10. Will the council meeting of May 16th, 2025 please reconvene? It is now 10:18, and we will continue with testimony with Ms. Ani.
Thank you, Chair. I'll be really quick. So I was in the middle of reading testimony from one of our families that come through the Living Pono Project, and she's advocating for a proviso for $100,000 through the Farm and Family Program. So the Living Pono Project currently feeds over 700 families every month with fresh, locally grown produce. This is not just food, it's dignity, it's health, it's culture. Ohana are given the freedom of choice to choose nourishing Hawaiian staples like kalo, ulu, uala, poi, maia, alongside beloved local crops like Maui onions, eggplants, lettuce, papayas, and tomatoes. This is about more than just meals. It's about restoring community connection.
At the budget bill, You said a $1 million pot, and the only $1 million pot I see is ag recovery. Which line item you was recovery? Which line item you was requesting for have a proviso under?
So
Requesting for have a proviso under?
So Councilmember Gabe Johnson put in for
The
agriculture.
local food production.
Yep.
Okay. So under that one, proviso, and then, the DCCA registered name is, Living Pono Project, no, Living Pono Project, no LLC or anything like that?
Correct.
Okay. And then LLC or anything like that?
Correct.
Okay. And then that was the only request, correct? And that was the only request, correct?
Yep. And for resilience hubs, just to support that, it be moved to the Department of Emergency Management and to consider recognized by the county, the office of the mayor. So if each of them had 200,000, we could all move forward together. So that would be a great pie in the sky request.
Mahalo for that clarification.
A great pie in the sky request.
Mahalo for that clarification. Mahalo, Chair.
Great pie in the sky request.
Mahalo for that clarification. Mahalo, Chair.
Thank you. Any more questions? If not, thank you very much.
Mahalo.
Nice to see you.
Chair, the next testifier is Jeff Almeida testifying on CR 2526.
It would create a barrier for most of Maui's construction workforce. And let's be honest, the $500,000 threshold in the bill, when's the last time we've seen a public works project coming in at 500,000? That number might as well just be zero. This bill would apply to just about every major project on Maui. Roads, schools, housing, water, all of it. Most local contractors are merit shops. They pay prevailing wage worse. This bill also blocks for our future construction trade workers alternative pathways into the trades by requiring only union training. That's not workforce development, that's workforce exclusion. PLAs raise construction costs significantly. Might mean for every 5 homes we build, 1 may not happen. For every 5 infrastructure projects, 1 might not move forward. That's fewer roofs, fewer classrooms, fewer jobs, and more burden on Maui's taxpayers. I know the intent behind
commitment are instrumental in helping us fulfill our kuleana to improve the water system serving our Leali'i villages, address the urgent need for affordable housing for our lahui, and make meaningful progress in reducing our long-standing wait list. We are in the budget, and included in this measure is a proposed memorandum of understanding that would allow DHHL to receive $21 million from the DHHL GET fund as established under Maui County Code Section 3.100.021. These funds are critical to advancing water infrastructure projects that directly support our homestead developments in West Maui. Specifically, the funding will help construct a new transmission line to the Wahikuli Reservoir, both of which are essential components to unlocking housing opportunities for Native Hawaiian beneficiaries. Mahalo nunui for your continued support and leadership.
Thank you very much. Any questions, members? If not, you do have one. Vice Chair Sugimura.
So in the budget is 10 million,
Yes,
and you are needing another 11.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
correct.
Okay, so briefly the 11 million, because I have an ASF, an amendment
Okay.
that maybe you can explain to the other members, because it's going to be introduced today.
So the 10 million we have in our proposal goes towards a tri-party agreement that we have in conjunction with HHFDC and the Department of Human Services. It supports our future of our homesteading that's going to happen in what we are calling Village 3, which is currently now under HHFDC and being leased on a temporary basis to DHS for the purpose of Kalai Ola. And that is to really support the recovery in Lahaina after 5 years, we will be taking on that. So the opportunity for us really is to work collectively with them, leverage those resources now, so when it's time for us to be able to take on and establish our homestead, we will be ready with that. The 11 million goes towards a commitment that we had made I want to say about a decade ago with Department of Water Services and with DWS, and that is really to be able to support the Wahikuli Reservoir. And so there is sources that are coming from the north side, we're providing from the south side. It provides needed booster from Civic Center and a 16-inch line that runs to the reservoir.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you.
I have a question first, okay. Any reason why you waited till first reading to bring this up?
I was in conversation with the mayor's office, and I'm here today to be able to support that.
Okay, so this is the mayor's initiative.
Yes.
Okay, 10 million. Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Aloha, Mr. Prana. Mahalo for your
Aloha.
testimony and for supporting the item. So I don't know what Member Sugimura's proposal is, but during budget session, we added a condition to ensure the conveyance from HHFDC to DHHL to give homesteaders some kind of security. At the time we added that condition, we were uncertain if there was an MOU in place.
Yes.
And you, yourself, and Chair Cully Watson were on Molokai before we passed it out of committee, and I was able to speak with the two of you about that. So what you just, your response to Member Sugimura is that after 5 years, I think the homesteaders and, Member Paulton introduced that condition on behalf of the homesteaders to give them that assurance that after 5 years, DHHL, HHFDC will make good on that promise. Is there, after 5 years, could be 10 years, could be 20 years. I know the intention is for the temporary houses to be there for 5 years. But what kind of safeguard do you have in place or proposed with the mayor, with the state, to ensure that it doesn't prolong? Yeah.
Mahalo, Councilmember. So yes, we love that provision. We need to provide that insurance for our beneficiaries. So that is, we put that into an addendum to our tri-party agreement. It's agreed upon by the three parties. Each of their legal counsel has read through it, and it's going through the signature process right now to be able to memorialize that commitment. And we are in the process of also planning forth what that would look like. We'd like to take over after 5 years and actually occupy, not wait for another 2, 3, 4, 5 years more, because the impact it would have upon the infrastructure, having it vacant. So we want to make sure we commit that we will be occupying that space at that time.
Incredible. And when I asked Mr. Fonda and Chair Watson about why it wouldn't be conveyed within that 5 years, it's because once it's under DHHL's management, that the requirement of 50% or more kanaka would be enforced, and those that are living in the temporary shelters at this time would not be allowed to be there if it was conveyed to DHHL within that 5 years, correct?
Yes, it was part of our way to support Governor's initiative to respond to the recovery efforts that were taking place. And so, yes, we need to oblige by the Homestead Act when it is conveyed over to us. So in order for us to be able to participate and support Governor's initiative, we really needed to make sure that we didn't have it conveyed until we were ready to be able to occupy that. So we wanted to make sure also that we had that language understood by all parties, memorialized, signed off on. And so that is in the works. And I was informed by our Attorney General's office that it's going through the directors right now, having them sign off on that.
Mahalo for that clarification.
Mahalo.
Appreciate you. Mahalo, Chair.
Any more questions, members? Member Paulton?
Thank you. Couple clarifications. So you said the MOU to return it afterwards is still in the works, but it's not finished yet.
So yes, so we use the existing tri-party memorandum of agreement, and we amended it to make sure that that language was in place. And so I wanted to bring to the table today to make sure, to let you know that we had our legal counsel on with the three parties to be able to review it. And right now it is agreed upon by all of the departments and in signature, going through signature right now.
And even, so at the end of 5 years, even if they're beneficiaries, if they're not next up on the list, will have to be removed, just clarifying.
So that's an interesting part of how we're being able to address the wait lists based upon the law, both in our administrative rules as well as the HRS. I know there's been a commitment from our chair that we will work with those that are currently residing in there that are waitlisters.
Okay, my other question, clarifying your testimony, it sounded like, sounded like you were saying you need additional money to fund a transmission line to the Wahikuli Reservoir. Is that what you said?
So yes, it was. Thank you for that comment. There was a commitment that we had made some time ago from the department to work in conjunction with some of the needs that DWS had expressed. And we weren't able to fulfill that, of course, based upon funding resources that we had available. And so we realized that the time is now. We're able to mobilize and leverage the work that is being done with contractors that are working on the Kalai'ola project and really being able to mobilize it and leverage those resources. And so it was a great opportunity for us to jump on that and say, you know what, let's fulfill what we had committed about a decade ago.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify because my recollection was that when William Isla was chair of the DLNR, he allowed for the decommissioning of the reservoir, and it was a $19 million cost to bring the dam to standard. Is this part of recommissioning the wet reservoir? And then I guess at a separate meeting at the Kalaimoku building at that time, he said even if the county or a private entity paid the cost, that DLNR wouldn't or couldn't guarantee water to the reservoir. So do you know the current status of the reservoir, the Wahikuli Reservoir?
Thank you for that question. I need to find out more details on particularly what DLNR had identified of decommissioning. You are correct, there is an area that DLNR had identified. This area is an area that we're still providing resources for our West Maui homesteaders, as I mean, homestead opportunities, and so it's a combination of Honokawai as well as Leali'i. This was one way for us to really assure that we have the necessary water needs for those both communities. However, I can find out and be able to relay back to the council what the exact reservoir that DLNR had identified to decommission.
Yeah, I believe it was the Wahikuli Reservoir. The cost was $425,000, and the reservoir was decommissioned. So do you know what kind of ASF it is? Do you know the language of the ASF? Is it to put money at a decommissioned reservoir?
It's not that, so we're actually doing there's the Wahikuli, there's a tank that's being currently used for supplying water to Kalaiola. That also provides water for our future use of Leali'i on some of the expansions. We have enough credits for what we're building right now in 1B, which is right above the Civic Center. But this is really to allow for us on future usage and also future development that we have. Understood that the land that's being conveyed over from HHFDC accumulates to about a sum total of 400 acres. And so the area that Kalaiola right now is in, that footprint is much smaller. It's a fraction of. So this would really assure us for that future expansion and usage of furthering our development in Leali'i.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, the concern is that the stability of the surrounding area, integrity of the reservoir, it's in places still full of silt and debris, and it would need to be cleaned. Last time you guys met well in advance of your water projects with like almost every member of the council, and this is like the 11:45 hour, and this is the first I'm hearing of it as the residency area member. So it's kind of just there's not a lot of information or time, or I'm not sure I understand. You're asking us right now to add $10 million to the budget.
So the 10 million goes towards work that is being done right now and that we had committed to back when the tri-party agreement with DHS and
Also, it's not
HHFDC.
an additional 10 million.
So
It's
the
not an
11
additional
million,
10 million.
the additional 11 million with the AFS is really for a 16-inch line that we had committed to with DWS back about a decade ago, that really were able to put in booster pumps from where the Civic Center is to boost it up through the parkway, and then connecting with the tank that is on the Lahaina side of Kalaiola. And that tank now provides that continuous service, not only from the north side resource, but also south side resource.
So at first reading, you're asking for an additional $11 million to do that. And
Yes.
You think that this will be completed within July 2025 to June 2026?
Yes, it will. There's contracts in place, contractors ready to move, and once again, we are leveraging the work that's been doing and working on in the Kalaiola area. This really helps us as we are able to utilize our emergency proclamation, being able to navigate the 103D.
So, I mean, I guess I'm blown away that there's contracts in place, but you couldn't give me a call, like, of what plans you had where I live. I mean, we met months ago about wells up country and other things, and it feels like this is just kind of getting sprung upon us. Like, hey, can you give us $11 million today? And, you know, like, you got contracts in place, but what about us? Like, why only now you bringing this to us? It seems kind of last minute.
Thank you for that concern. I'll swing back with the, also touch base with Mayor's office. We apologize for not being able to touch base with you on some of that work. I know it's been something that, once again, we committed to the county back about 10 years ago, and we could have, along that time, 10 years ago, say we're going to be able to fulfill this, and we haven't yet. And I apologize for not being able to.
Anytime in the last 10 years, you could have given me a call.
Yes, exactly.
Anytime before today, like, if you lined up contractors to do work, I don't know where the 11 million was gonna come from before you signed up contractors. It seems very unusual.
And once again, we are working with the contractors that are already in place at Kalaiola, And it's not something that we've signed off. It's part of our tri-party agreement. And be able to leverage those resources right now instead of waiting, understanding that as we move forward, there are prices that have been going up because of different, I want to say, restrictions and things that are happening and tariffs, et cetera. And so this was one way for us to be able to move forward on this. We could actually wait on this, but the cost, as we took a look at it, goes up significantly. And so our desire was to jump on an opportunity with what's been working on right now in Kalai-Ola project. And I do.
Are you aware of any?
And you are.
Are you aware
and I
of any
apologize
other
for it.
projects in my district that I'm not aware of?
Not right now, not right now. But as they come up, I will.
Nothing else going on in my district.
Not right now, but as if things come up, I will touch base with you. We have some discussions that are happening out of the Lieutenant Governor's office further up in Pili. So I'll swing back. It's still talk story and sessions that we have with the Lieutenant Governor on opportunities that may be available to Hawaiian homes. So I'll make sure that we have that conversation with you very quickly.
Okay, Member Paulton, I'm going to have to
Yes?
cut this short because we have other testifiers. But when this matter comes up, will you be available when we actually discuss that particular item?
Yes, I can be available.
Okay, good. Yeah, we generally don't allow a lot of discussion with the testifier, but this is a matter that generally is discussed in committee first, and this is the first time we're hearing it. So in other words, we're doing committee work on the council floor. So that's why I let the conversation go. But now it's getting to a point where other people are waiting to testify. So if you can wait
Thank you.
till this item comes up, then there may be more discussion. Okay, Member Paulton, is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay. More questions? Member Hodgins.
Thank you. I just had a quick clarifying question. So thank you for being with us today. This is something you promised to do with Department of Water Supply.
Yes.
How can we need money from us then?
So this money is the GT set-aside monies and so we're asking
You're asking
to be able
for
to utilize it now.
The 20% that we put
Yes.
aside for the GET funds.
And that's what this is.
Okay.
So it's something that we haven't been able to identify yet a project, and we felt that this project was very key for us to be able to place and post and tee up in front of you.
Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Any more questions? Member Cook.
Thank you. So just for clarification, when you say leverage out, it's the contractors are already mobilized on site, they're already there, they're doing other work.
Yes.
And so this opportunity is the fact that they could move into that work and substantially save a lot of money for DHHL's CIP project.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Any further questions? If not, thank you very much.
Mahalo.
Not sure when this is going to come up, but
I'll be available.
okay.
Thank you.
Chair, the next testifier is Les Iskovitz. And Mr. Iskovitz, if you could let us know what item you'll be testifying on, and he will be followed by Keola Mautengon.
Aloha, council members. I will be testifying on Resolution 25-108 in opposition to the nomination of Christopher Elizares to the Planning Commission. I've been an attorney in Hawaii for 46 years as of 2 weeks ago. I believe in justice. I believe the law should be followed when it comes to nomination of applicants to the Maui Planning Commission and not skirted to favor the friends of the mayor. I testified at Tuesday's Great Committee meeting. I informed the council at that meeting that the mayor's office is apparently using two different versions of the application for Maui boards and commissions. After I testified, a member of the mayor's office denied there are two versions of the application. Last night, I emailed a letter to the Maui clerk's office to which I attached two different versions of the application for Maui boards and commissions. One of them is the blank version of the commission that's online that I downloaded the other day, and the other one is the completed application by Mr. Alizares, which does not include a lot of the information which was required to be included in the original application. And I presumably all of you have now received my letter, and I refer you to that. I assume that the clerk has forwarded it to you. And perhaps I know that Ms. Ludi is here, and I asked perhaps the clerk can respond to my letter after I testify. But there's no doubt that vital, relevant, non-confidential information about Mr. Alazares has not been shared with the public, including his current place of employment, his employment history, and his educational background. And the fact that there are two different versions of the application raises a lot of issues. I spoke to someone in the mayor's office on Tuesday, and I asked these questions. Why is this happening? I was told that someone from Corporation Counsel would be calling me back with answers to my questions about the two versions of the application, the failure to disclose relevant public information. Corp Counsel never called me. I think it is procedurally necessary to defer consideration of Mr. Alazares' nomination to the Planning Commission until all of the questions and concerns have been fully addressed in a way that the public has been taken care of. In addition, I mean, the fact Mr. Alazares is employed by the McKenna Resort. This is not disclosed to the public in any information related to this hearing. And why not? It's obviously very, very relevant that a major landowner is the employer of supposedly the next member of the Planning Commission. Is this intentionally